Hello friends, so how are you? Okay, in the previous lecture we completed the C3 path, C4 path and photo respiration also. Okay, now as you know in the C3 path the photo respiration is more happen during the C3 because of rubisco. Okay, and low concentration of carbon dioxide during the low concentration of carbon dioxide. Okay, now today we start the new topic, factors affecting the photosynthesis. Okay, now first of all, for the photosynthesis, as you know there are so many factors are required for photosynthesis. For an example, without light photosynthesis is not occurs. Without light, without temperature, without carbon dioxide, without chlorophyll and without water. So these are the factors which is the basic requirement for photosynthesis. These are the basic requirement of photosynthesis. So if there is the no light, no temperature, no water and carbon dioxide, so without this factors there is no photosynthesis. So when the elements are when some things are required for that process, so always that process is affected by all these factors. So in this topic we will discuss the different factors which affect the photosynthesis. Okay, the first one is light or rather sunlight. Light is the basic requirement for photosynthesis. Okay, in the presence of light the photosynthesis occurs. Okay, second thing is concentration of CO2 or you can say carbon dioxide. Okay, carbon dioxide is the basic requirement. Then third one is temperature. Temperature is the another requirement, and fourth one is or other factors you can say, and fourth one is water. Okay, now fourth one is water. So these are the four factors which affect the photosynthesis, and in the presence of this whole factors the food is synthesized, or rather sugar or glucose are synthesized. Okay, now in 1905 means 1905, in 1905 the scientist, the name is Blackman. Okay, he give a law of limiting factors. Now what is limiting factors? When a chemical reaction, it is the photochemical reaction, you can say chemical reaction, because photosynthesis is the chemical reaction. So in any chemical reaction there are few factors which affect the chemical reaction, or more than one factors which affect the chemical reaction. So out of these factors, any factor is present in their limiting or optimum condition or minimal condition rather for that particular process or for that particular chemical reaction. So ये चारों में से और out of this four factors कोई एक ऐसा फैक्टर होना चाहिए और which is required in their limiting limit or rather minimum limit, कि वो अगर ना हो in their minimal value or minimal concentration, the chemical reaction will stop. अगर ये चारों में से कोई भी एक फैक्टर ऐसा है कि जो उसकी मिनिमम वैल्यू से कम है तो वो रिएक्शन नहीं होगी. And if the four factors or this all factors are present in optimal condition means in which condition the maximum reaction rate is there, maximum product is there, and the reaction is well good, or you can say quality reaction is there. So optimal condition is the best condition, and minimal means the lower limit or rather limiting. That's why it's called limiting factors or law of limiting factors. Okay, now for an example, a particular algae doing the photosynthesis with the help of light, rather sunlight, then concentration of CO2, rather CO2, they uptake the CO2, they uptake the light, the water is there, but without temperature, without a particular temperature, they can't synthesize food. So in this case the temperature is the limiting factors, means without a particular or a minimum temperature, there is no photosynthesis. Okay, so this is the all about the limiting factors. Okay, these all are limiting factors for the basic, or these are the requirements of photosynthesis. Okay, so photosynthesis होने के लिए ये सभी basic है. Okay, so we start the light. So light is the first or a simple or a basic requirement for photosynthesis. As you know कि now not only the light, the quality of light means the low light, high light, or the wavelength of light, then intensity of light means there is the high intensity of light, low intensity of light, उसकी intensity क्या है, then the length of light means मैं उसको length तो नहीं बोल सकता, but the duration of light, कि if there is the winter, okay, for an example, at present when I am recording this lecture, winter season is there, so winter है जब, then the duration of light is short, and during the summer the duration of light is longer. That's why the light duration is also affect the photosynthesis. And second thing is intensity of light is also affect the photosynthesis rate rather. Now if I draw or if I plot a diagram or a graph, or if I am taking the axis पे मैं लूँ the intensity of light, and when I taking the y-axis or y-axis पे मैं लूँ the rate of photosynthesis, okay, and if you increase the intensity of light धीरे the rate of photosynthesis will also increases. But at a particular stage of intensity of light, जब आप increase करते हो, the photosynthetic rate will stable. Photosynthesis rate है वो stable हो जाएगा at a particular point. Okay, so you can say that कि in a particular range, जब आप लाइट इंटेंसिटी इंक्रीज करते हो, द फोटोसिंथेसिस रेट जो है वो भी इंक्रीज होता है, व्हेन फोटोसिंथेसिस इंक्रीज होता है. और जैसे ही व्हेन द लाइट इंटेंसिटी इज अबव देयर मैक्सिमम वैल्यू, उसकी मैक्सिमम वैल्यू से आप जब ऊपर जाते हो, या फिर यू कैन से ऑप्टिमम वैल्यू से जब आप ऊपर जाते हो, देन ऑटोमेटिकली द फोटोसिंथेसिस रेट इज स्टेबल, because light absorbed by chlorophyll or pigments, which is minimum or optimum. Okay, after the optimum reaction there is no chlorophyll to absorb their light or photon, so the photosynthesis rate become stable. Second thing कि sir only a 10% of total light is also a basic thing, the 10% of total light is also enough for the plants. Rather, the plants are saturated by that 10% of light only. So the smaller plants are doing their photosynthesis in low light also. Okay, so light is the basic requirement, but if the small amount of light is also there is a photosynthesis process. Okay, so it is the basic thing. But sometimes if you increase the intensity of light continuously, or you can't, but just imagine कि you just giving the high light intensity to the plant, then the chlorophyll become degraded, or breakdown of chlorophyll is there. So chlorophyll है वो breakdown हो जाएगा, the degradation of chlorophyll, and that's why the photosynthesis rate है या for the process of photosynthesis will stop, because the degradation of or breakdown of chlorophyll. So this is the light factor which affect the photosynthesis reaction. Now second thing, carbon dioxide. Okay, carbon dioxide is the second basic requirement of photosynthesis. So carbon dioxide amount is also affect the photosynthesis. How? As you know कि in the atmosphere there is the 0.03 to 0.04%. Between this two figure there is the concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. If you increase this level of above 4.04, then automatically फोटोसिंथेसिस है वो इंक्रीज होगा. Even if you reach at the 0.05% level of carbon dioxide, the photosynthesis is also increases. Okay, but when you talking about carbon dioxide, concentration of carbon dioxide, that is the two option. Okay, that is the two option. First is the C3 plant. What about this C3 plant, and what about the C4 plant? So there is the two option. Okay, sir, what about with the C3 plant and what about with the C4 plant? Okay, because in the both plants there is the different concentration of carbon dioxide which they require. For an example, in the C4 plant, the bundle of sheath cell and mesophilic cells both implants their CO2 in their cells. But in the C3 plants, only the mesophilic cells are there. Mesophilic cells are there. Okay. So C4 plants require the minimum amount. Rather, C4 plant है वो कितनी amount तक they can saturate, or rather the 360 microliter per liter inverse. This is the amount which C4 plants are required for photosynthesis, or maximum photosynthesis or optimum photosynthesis. Okay, but for the C3 plants they require the more than 450 microliter inverse amount of carbon dioxide. Why? Because C3 plant के अंदर mesophil के अंदर रुबिस्को है. If there is the low concentration of C3 or carbon dioxide, automatically oxygenase हो जाएगा. That's why if you completely increase the carbon dioxide, आप carbon dioxide increase कर देंगे या amount of carbon dioxide increase करते हैं, रुबिस्को oxygenase नहीं करेगा. Means C3 plant के अंदर continuously photosynthesis होगा, means food production बढ़ जाएगा. Means the production become increases when you increase the carbon dioxide level, or amount of carbon dioxide will increases, then automatically the food production is also increases. So C3 plant के लिए CO2 level जैसे सब increase करते जाएंगे, food production वो increase हो जाएगा, but not exactly same with the C4 plants. Okay, वो हम understand है कि सर ये C4 plant के लिए इतना high amount required नहीं है, because they saturated with the 360 microliter per liter. Okay, now next कि sir, this concept is helpful for the more production of food in C3 plants. Means if you give the more carbon dioxide to plant, then plant automatically increase their food production. And with the help of this concept, the greenhouses are there. So in the greenhouses, the CO2 level वो जो है वो increase करते हैं with the help of light, and because of this high amount of CO2, automatically the temperature will increases, and जैसे जैसे CO2 increase होगा ग्रीन हाउस के अंदर टेम्परेचर भी इंक्रीज होगा, और फूड क्वालिटी है और फूड प्रोडक्शन है वो ऑटोमेटिकली बढ़ जाएगा. फॉर टोमेटो, फॉर दी चिली, शिमला मिर्च जिसको बोलते हैं, फॉर द टोमेटो एंड चिली, इसके लिए बहुत ही फेमस है ये ग्रीन हाउसेज कि जो मोर प्रोडक्शन दे फूड का. ओके, that's why it is important. So concentration of CO2 is also affect the photosynthesis process. Now next, temperature, which is basic required. Why? Because photosynthesis has two phases. Means light phase and dark phase. Now light phase है, it is specifically or completely based on light. There is no need of temperature, whether temperature is high or temperature is low. Okay, but the second phase means dark phase is completely enzymatic reactions, or rather you can say chemical reactions. So dark phase required an optimum amount or a minimal amount of temperature for the reaction. Means reaction होने के लिए तो it required the minimal amount. If there is not presence of that minimal amount, because there is the enzyme, so there is no reaction. Okay. Now listen, कि enzyme has a specific ability, or enzyme has the ability to done the reaction in a specific temperature. Okay, enzyme need a specific temperature, or you can say optimum temperature or minimal temperature. अगर वो नहीं होगा तो enzyme का वो function नहीं कर सकता. But जैसे जैसे आप temperature, sometimes temperature जैसे जैसे increase करते जाएंगे, automatically the reaction will increases and the production is also increases, but at a particular or a specific level. उससे आगे जब आप जाते हो तो एंजाइम है वो डिग्रेड हो जाता है हाई टेम्परेचर पे और रिएक्शंस है वो स्टॉप हो जाती है. सो दिस इज द टेम्परेचर, क्योंकि एंजाइमेटिक रिएक्शंस है वो टेम्परेचर के बेस पे होगी, बिकॉज एंजाइम रिक्वायर्स द ऑप्टिमम और मिनिमल टेम्परेचर. क्लियर? सो टेम्परेचर इज रिक्वायर्ड. एंड लास्ट बट नॉट लीस्ट, वाटर. Without water there is no photosynthesis, because during the light phase water splitting is there and the removal of oxygen, and this water gives the H या hydrogen for the dark phase also. डार्क फेज के लिए वो रिडक्शन के लिए हाइड्रोजन देते हैं या ऑक्सीजन रिलीज करते हैं या इलेक्ट्रॉन्स देते हैं जो PS2 में जाता है. This all about the water. If there is no water, water scarcity is there is no photosynthesis, because there is so many reasons. First मैंने आपको बता दिया कि water splitting नहीं होगा, water नहीं होगा तो कुछ नहीं हो सकता. Second thing कि as you know कि जब water नहीं होगा, because stomata का जो open and closing type है वो because of water है, कि जैसे water भरेगा stomata है वो open होगा, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड अंदर आएगा. जैसे water evaporate होगा स्टोमाटा बंद हो जाएगा. अब वाटर स्कैरसिटी है तो स्टोमाटा ओपन नहीं होने वाला. स्टोमाटा ओपन नहीं होगा तो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड वो अपटेक नहीं करेगा, फोटोसिंथेसिस बंद हो जाएगा. दिस इज द सेकंड थिंग कि स्टोमाटा है इट इज बेस्ड ऑन वाटर. इफ देयर इज नो वाटर देयर इज नो ओपनिंग ऑफ स्टोमाटा, स्टोमाटा क्लोज हो जाएगा. सेकंड क्या होगा कि जैसे ही वाटर स्कैरसिटी होगी जो लीफ एरिया है, लीफ सरफेस है, वो ऑटोमेटिकली कर्व हो जाता है. ओके, लीफ एरिया हो कर्व हो जाता है, जो उसकी सरफेस एरिया जो मिल सकती है आपको लाइट एब्जॉर्प्शन के लिए या फिर उसके लिए वो हमको इनफ अमाउंट में नहीं मिलती, दैट्स व्हाई फोटोसिंथेसिस है वो कम हो जाता है. सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट दी वाटर, कि जो वाटर अफेक्ट करता है फोटोसिंथेसिस को. सो फोटोसिंथेसिस को ये डिफरेंट 4 जो फैक्टर्स हैं, लाइट, CO2, टेम्परेचर एंड वाटर, जो अफेक्ट करते हैं फोटोसिंथेसिस को. सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट दिस चैप्टर. रादर यहाँ पे चैप्टर कंप्लीट होता है. इन द नेक्स्ट वीडियो लेक्चर वी स्टार्ट अ न्यू चैप्टर. ओके, सो आज यहाँ तक रखता हूँ, कल मिलते हैं विद द न्यू चैप्टर. ओके, बाय.